We're here to define what a man is, right?
Responsibility creates struggle, struggle creates strength, and strength creates structure.
How many people care about what people think about them? Be honest.
As a man, you got to be able to protect not just yourself, but your family.
When we talk about being a man, it's your behaviors.
But I don't say any of this to brag. I don't say any of this to gloat my life up or I'm better than anybody.
I start crying. I'm like, why am I crying? And so what I realized was,
you put yourself in a target-rich environment. You are the only woman that paid for a ticket to come to this event.
if you're trying to teach your daughter to be around a certain man and you're not that man yourself, she gonna choose you.
Hey, let me not touch this nigga. He too clean. Where is that on you?
It's not on me.
It's not on you. The only reason why it's not on you is because you didn't choose it.
Find the women who can actually help you build. And here's some deep game for you. You don't have to have sex with all of them.
Since 2016, I've been following Lucario and Miles. Y'all changed my life. Followed by Uncle Ram. So ever since then, I've been getting a little bit of too much ass at times.
As you know, as a man, there's a balance to it. Your purpose and pussy. And the heavier your purpose,
Even if you lose the relationship, you don't lose yourself. And that's the most important part.
Click the link below and get your tickets to the Game Kings 2, The Definition of a Man seminar in Las Vegas, Nevada, Labor Day weekend, September 3rd, featuring Boss Mac Topsoil, Steve the Dean Williams, Mr. 1950, Afi Kingdom, King Dre, and hosted by Miles Cunningham and yours truly, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. So make sure you click the link below to get your tickets today. Still ain't getting women? Really? Come on, son. You need to go to badboymembership.com and step up your game. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I'm telling you that if you really want to attract beautiful women, you need to go to badboymembership.com. This is where you get 45 through 90-minute step-by-step dating advice tutorials every month. Just sign up, follow the advice, and you'll get the woman you want. Go to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com. It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game, and I want to tell you about my documentary, Game Kings, The Definition of Game, starring myself, the Boss Mac Topsoil, Rosebud, Ron Wills, Miles Cunningham, and much more. In this documentary, you're going to learn about confidence, manhood, attracting women, and the definition of the game. To get this documentary, go to MrLocario.com.
Some people think you need a sports car to get what you want. Some people think you need $1 million. Some people think you need looks, status. The only thing you need is what they can't get unless they come straight to you. And that's your identity. Join the Masculine Identity membership today. MasculineIdentityMembership.com. Masculine Identity Soap. This luxurious, quality, high lather, high moisturizing, all natural bar soap has been handcrafted with care and consistency to provide a quality cleansing experience for self-care, focus, and productivity. Specially formulated for cold showers. Stay clean, gentlemen. Masculine Identity Soap.
We are here
We are here. What's popping? What's good? What's good? What's good? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the motherfucking dating game. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to everybody. We got Monogamous Player, June Sports in the building. Joe Blast in the motherfucking building. What's going on, man? No Data is in the building. Who else we got up in here? Steve O Baby, AJ Lindo, Real King, Kenneth Cold. What's going on? Soul Manga, Aaron Summers in the building. Charisma Strategies. What's good? What's good with you? Phoenix Smiles in the building. Mega Tell Now. What's going on? Shout out to everybody. Bandman. What's good? What's good? Shout out to everybody. King Ken, Beast, Churcher, P. Wayne, Rashad is in the building. So today's show topic, right, is something that's been going. I think this story has been going around for like a long time, and I want to get through a lot of stuff in this episode because I'm not going to be here too long. But you know, I got this. People were sending me this this story about this woman who's supposedly dying, and then she, you know, wants to sleep with her ex before she dies. So she tells her husband, you know, I want to have one more, I guess, you know, sexual escapade with my ex, right? So people been hitting me up and asking me like, Locario, what are you thinking about this, man? You need to do a show on this. I want to know your opinion on this stuff, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I got some screenshots of the story or what was going on. And I also got some screenshots of the comments that people are making. And then I want to sort of dive deep into what all this is about and why, you know, a lot of people feel the way they feel about this, and just overall in general, I want to talk about, like, you know, a lot of things that happens in relationships that people just don't understand, and also the reason why most relationships go to shit, the reason why most relationships aren't really good, the reason why a lot of relationships aren't, you know, healthy nowadays, right? So basically, you know, the overall story is woman is dying or some shit like that. And who knows if this is actually a real story, right? But it's been going around. I think it's actually been, you know, going around for like a year or something like that. But I think their story resurfaced, right? And so basically this guy, his, you know, wife's dying. She says, I want to sleep with my ex before I die. And then, you know, he's confused as to, you know, should he be okay with it? Should he make it happen? Right. And, you know, most people are like, oh my God, this is crazy and all this other nonsense and so forth and so on. Right now, what I'm going to do is I want to read what this stuff says. And then I'm going to read some of the comments of some of the people. And then I'm going to break down what's happening with all this stuff. Right now, let's get into this. So this is from I copied this from his website, and it says, you know, they're talking about the story. It says he began his post by sharing his response to his wife's diagnosis and explaining she was told she had at most 9 months. I am, of course, destroyed. We've been together for a decade. I don't remember life without her, and I don't know what I'm going to do when she's gone, he wrote. However, he said he could not understand one of her wishes. Recently, she sat me down and told me that one of her last things she wanted to do was have sex with a previous partner of hers. I, of course, was shocked. And when I asked why the fuck she wants that, his post read. So basically, she thinks that her most physically compatible, satisfying lover was him. She gave a whole monologue about how sex sometimes is just physical and how emotionally fulfilling sex is with me. But it was, I guess he's saying something to get to the point or whatever. I'm not sure what that word was. And then it says, the husband continued, so now I'm left with this: deny my dying wife a wish for my own ego, or let her go fuck another man who she feels was better. Honestly, I'm so proud of and betrayed that she asks this of me. I feel like I'm put in a position where I have to say yes because she's dying. He concluded by saying he feels hurt and knows how he wants to reply, but does not know if he is the right, if he is in the right. I just hate everything about this. All right, now, before I get into some of the comments, shout out to my dude Afi in the building. Afi is going to be at the Game King seminar, so make sure you guys, you know, come through. Well, yeah, it's sold out, so whoever's got the tickets gonna come through. But get your live stream tickets. You know, if you soon because the live stream tickets are probably going to sell out in a minute too, right? So shout out to my dude K Zaggett in the building. So he says she's not really asking for permission. She wants his blessings so she doesn't have to sneak around, but she's going to do it anyway. That's true. That's a fact. Now, it's the thing. This is the thing, guys. Before I get into the comments that people wrote or responded to this, right? And shout out to my lady April MC in the motherfucking building. Shout out to my lady April MC in the building. Let me post that at the top. Put the pin at the top. There we go. Let me do that. Now, I'm not going to take any calls yet because I gotta get through this. What I'm going to say about this, because I want you guys to understand what I'm saying and what I'm about to say. I'm letting you know now that a lot of people are not going to like what I'm going to say, or they might not even get what I'm about to say. But what I'm about to tell you guys is the absolute truth about why a lot of relationships go to shit, why people have fucked up relationships and all this other stuff, right? I'm going to break this down, right? And now, before I say what I say, I want to say that this doesn't matter if you're in a monogamous relationship, a non-monogamous relationship, because a lot of times what people like to do is when I try to explain certain things, they'll be like, but Lucario, you're in an open relationship, so it's different and you don't understand. No. This has nothing to do with if you're in an open relationship or a non-monogamous relationship, monogamous relationship, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? Now, so we have this situation where this guy has his wife, she's about to die, and she wants to sleep with her ex, right? Now, she's saying, look, obviously she enjoyed having sex with the ex, which is why she wants to do it again. The husband's going to feel some type of way, of course, because, it's like, well, this is my wife, and why would you want to fuck another guy? And this is, how he's thinking, right? Now, what you have to understand about relationships is that relationships are either going to be one or two ways, right? It's going to be one or two ways. It's either going to be based on cooperation, or it's going to be based on objectification. Now, don't worry, I'm going to break all this down because I want you guys to, listen to what I'm saying, because some of this might go over your head if you're not paying attention. And if you're watching this on the replay, you might want to replay it again if it, I'm going to try to take this slow so you guys understand what I'm talking about, right? Relationships are either about cooperation or objectification, right? So what does that mean? So cooperation means that two people are working with each other, because that's what cooperation means, working together for a certain goal, right? Objectification means that you look at the person you are with as an object, right? Either consciously or subconsciously, right? So either you guys are working with each other on a cooperation level, or you look at the person that you're with as an object, which means you're objectifying them. Now, a lot of people, and I would say this, most relationships are built on objectification, even if you don't realize it. So some people who are watching probably like, well, I don't objectify my girl, or I don't objectify my, no. A lot of people's relationships are built on objectification, right? And usually when your relationship is built on objectification, it usually goes to shit, right? And I'm going to break down what that means too, right? See, think about the phrase, the object of my affection. See, even in the things that we say, right? It's right there in plain sight. You're the object of my affection. Right? Which means you're objectifying the person you're with, right? So what happens is most relationships are about objectification and not cooperation, right? Now, let's go a little deeper. So when it comes to objectification and cooperation is working with, objectification is seeing the person as the object. Now, when it comes to having an actual healthy relationship, right? That means that you have to experience a relationship with a person, right? Which means cooperation. And you shouldn't be experiencing a relationship with a person that you feel is there for you, which is objectification. So it's with you, cooperation, for you, objectification. Now, let me break that down. When you're in a relationship, right? And you're with the person is with you, you're with them. That means you are two individuals getting together to share an experience. When you're in a relationship that's objectification, you are looking at the person you're with as they're there for you, which means that you see yourself as an individual, but you see the person you're with as your object. You understand? Which is where a lot of ownership comes in, where you start to feel like, you know, well, this is my girl or my man. This is where the ownership comes in. You understand? So what happens is that when you're in a relationship and you two are with each other, you are two individuals, right? Who are experiencing that relationship together in a cooperative manner, right? When you're dealing with a person and you feel like that person is there for you, that means you look at yourself as the individual and the other person is there for you, which means they are there as an object for you to use. Do you see what I'm saying? So what happens is that people don't even realize that they're objectifying the person they're with, right? So you got to understand how this works out. And I'm gonna break it down and I'm gonna prove to you that most people are actually in relationships where they're objectifying the person they're with and they don't even realize it. You understand? And this is going to tie into this whole situation about the wife wanting to sleep with the ex and the husband feeling a certain type of way, right? So what happens is this. When you are having a relationship where you see yourself as an individual, you see your other person as an individual, and y'all are cooperating, you're working with, what happens is that you don't forget that even though you guys are in a relationship, you are also still individuals. I'm gonna say that again. When you guys are in a relationship that's cooperative, you understand that you guys are together, but at the same time, you are also individuals. When you're in a relationship where it's objectification, where you feel like the person is there for you, you see yourself and the person in a relationship together, but you only see yourself as the individual and the person as the object. Right? And so what happens is that when it comes to you seeing that person as the object, you forget the other person that you're with is an individual. So when that person has an individual thought, feeling, or desire, right? You're like, how dare my object, the object of my affection, how dare this person that I own who's mine, how dare they feel anything, say anything, or want anything that makes me feel upset? How dare they? How dare they express a desire from their individuality that's going to make me feel some type of way because I'm in my ego? Do you see what I'm saying? See, what you got to understand is that the objectification, when you think a person is there for you, now don't get this confused. When I say you're thinking a person is there for you, that's different than somebody doing something for you. Like I can do something for my girl. You understand? I can say, hey, you know what? I saw this, bracelet. I thought it was nice. I bought this for her because I thought it would look good on her, and I did that for her, right? That's different than thinking that she's there for me. Because when I think she's there for me, what happens is that I look at this situation and I say, you know what? My girl is there for me, so she's supposed to cook me eggs at 8:00 every day, and that's it, right? And that's what I need her to do. And if she's not doing that, then what the fuck is she there for, right? Now, I could want eggs 8:00 every day in the morning, but she has to want to. Her individual preference needs to be her wanting to give me eggs at 8:00 in the morning. That's what cooperation means. See, when I tell you guys to find a woman who's going to cooperate, when I tell you guys to find a woman who's under your program, the fact that she's under your program should not be her being under your program by her feeling like, damn, I got to do this shit for this nigga. I gotta be here. Fuck, I don't even want to do this, but I guess I got to because I'm his object. I'm his woman, right? It shouldn't be that. She should be happy to cook you the eggs. She should want to do this. So you want eggs and she wants to cook you the eggs. Those are two individuals cooperating. But if I see my woman as my object, like I own her, she may not want to necessarily cook me eggs, but she's going to do it because she feels like she needs to. She's going to be miserable. And I'm going to feel like I own her because she's my object. Remember, she's the object of my affection. You see what I'm saying? So what happens is that a lot of people in relationships, they're in situations where they're looking at the person as their object and they don't even notice. They have no idea they're objectifying the person they're with, right? Even to the extent of this, check this out. A lot of misunderstandings that happen in relationships is because one or both parties never really accept the person that they're with for who they are. You understand? One or both parties don't really accept the person for who they are. So for example, right? Let's say you're in a relationship with a chick, right? And let's say, you feel like, man, I feel like my girl doesn't care about me, right? Because, she doesn't rub my back. She doesn't give me massages, right? So you're thinking she doesn't care about you because she doesn't give you massages. But the way your girl shows she cares about you, she might cook you food. She might, buy you gifts. She might, like try to take you out to your favorite concert or whatever the fuck it is. That's how she shows her love to you. And you know that this is how she shows her love. But you want a back rub because that's how you want love to be shown. Right? So now, because she's not rubbing your back, you start to think she doesn't love you. Right? Because you're only going to accept love how you expect her to do it for you, which means that you are looking at her being that object for you. So you're here for me. Listen, you could take me out to all the concerts. You could cook me all the food, but I want you to give me the back rub. So you're supposed to be here for me, right? You're my object. You're supposed to be here for me and do it how I want you to do it. Fuck how you're showing love. I don't give a fuck that you show love by buying me gifts and cooking me food and do all this other stuff. I want a back rub. So I need, for you object, listen, yes, you the object, you're supposed to do what I want and then I will feel love for you. You see what I'm saying? This is objectification. And this is why a lot of relationships go to shit, because instead of accepting the fact that your girl loves you because she's cooking you food, you think she doesn't love you because she's not rubbing your back. You see what I'm saying? And so therefore, you're not looking at her as the individual because her individuality causes her to cook you food, to take you out to the concerts, to buy you the gifts. That's what she does because as an individual, that's how she shows love. But you're expecting her to show love exactly how you want her to show love. And the thing is that you want her to be there for you, which means that you're objectifying her, which means that you see her as your object. And therefore you think that she doesn't love you and you expect her to do these things because you feel there's some sort of ownership to the situation. You see what I'm saying? See, a lot of relationships go to shit because there's always this miscommunication between men and women a lot of times because we might show love or do a certain thing differently than the other person expects from us. But see, all it takes is a conversation and say, hey, listen, I like to do these things, and this is how I show love to you. This is how I show up in the relationship. But then if you're getting upset and expecting them to show up exactly how you want them to show up, understand that you are objectifying that person. You see what I'm saying? Now, let's bring this back to the situation between the wife and she wants to sleep with the ex and all this other stuff before she dies and all that other stuff, right? What happens is the issue here is this. Her and her man are with each other. Her and the husband are together. Right? Now, what happens is this woman is about to die. She's about to die. Now, what happens is even though they are together, remember, they are still what? Individuals. Right? So part of her desire as an individual is I, as an individual, enjoyed sex with this other person. Even though I still enjoy sex with you as the person I'm in this relationship with now, as an individual, I still enjoyed sex with this other person. But see, the problem arises when the ego sets in, because the ego is telling you, your wife, she doesn't love you. You know why she doesn't love you? Because you're nobody. That's why she wants to fuck the other guy. That guy must have a bigger dick than you, bro. That's why she wants to fuck the other guy, bro, because she doesn't love you and you're nothing. You're nobody. That's what your ego is telling you. You feel what I'm saying? This is what your ego is telling you. So what happens is that you're in this relationship, right? And because the woman is about to die, meaning the shit is about to be over, that individual, the individual she is, the realness is coming out now. She's like, shit, like, yeah, I love my husband, but also, this is something I want to do. Because understand, in this relationship, she was with her man, but just because she's with her man doesn't mean the individual self stops having the individual desire. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times, the real reason most people have an issue is not really because it's an issue in reality. It's an issue because of your ego. You understand? It's because of your ego. See, if the woman said, my dying wish is to go to fucking, Greece for a week. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, you're not going to have an issue with that because that has nothing to do with his ego. You understand? And also remember, because we're in a society that has created these sort of norms and rules of a relationship, that shapes how you look at relationships. Because remember, you're the object of my affection. You're my girl. You see what I'm saying? So now that you're the object, you're my object, and you're my girl, I own you. Right? So you go from an individual to my object. Right? So how is my object? How am I gonna listen? How dare you want this desire from your individual thoughts and feelings? How dare you be an individual? As soon as you got into this relationship, your individuality ceased. Even though I'm still an individual, you're not an individual. See, I'm an individual because I'm thinking about what I want. But fuck what you want, lady. Fuck what you want. It's all about what I want because I'm the individual. You're just my object. You're the object of my affection. Remember? So this is the thing that people don't really see. This is why, for example, you ever notice how a person will cheat on the person they're with, but then if the person they're with cheats, they're mad? Like, Like I'm watching this show. There's a show on Netflix called Deep Fake Love that I was watching. And basically in the show, they have these couples that go to the show and they're testing their relationship out. And so they go into these separate houses with these single people, and then they're being filmed. And then, you know, at the end of every episode, they show their significant other or whatever fucking around with somebody else, and they have to figure out if it's real or not, because they used artificial intelligence to, you know, create different scenarios to make you think, oh, is this my girlfriend kissing this guy, or is this like artificial intelligence fake shit, right? But when they were in the situation, when they were showing the videos, the guy would look at his girl and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you kissed that guy. That's what he's thinking. But before that happened, he was in the fucking house kissing another girl. Or the girl will see her man, you know, touching up on this other chick and be mad at him. But then on the flip side, she's up there tonguing down another guy. So what happens is that it's funny how we can see ourselves as individuals, but then we see our partner as the object, which is weird, because if you understand yourself as the individual, how do you not see your partner as the individual? And I always hate to say partner, but you know, it just slipped out. You know what I'm saying? But you see the other person you're with as not an individual. You understand? Kazak said, this is why I say it, just because you are in a relationship doesn't mean sexual attraction turns off for other people. It doesn't mean that your woman doesn't fantasize about an ex-lover. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So he said, isn't the issue that the man and woman agreed to be in a monogamous relationship? If they agreed on an open relationship, then the guy should be fine with it. Well, see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want to take it to monogamous and open relationship because the thing is, you're going to miss the point of what I'm saying. Now, we could talk about that a little bit, but also you have people in monogamous relationships who have threesomes, right? Who will sometimes bring somebody in the bedroom and they'll fuck around. Or you have people who are in monogamous relationships who at one point or another, like went to like a swinger party or something, right? And then so the guy fucked another girl, the girl fucked another guy, and then they kept it moving and they just kept their relationship, you know, going. But they never done it again, right? So those guys aren't necessarily non-monogamous necessarily. They're not necessarily swingers per se, but they've done that one time. But see, what happened is that in that situation, the individuality in that situation showed up, because what happened is those two people in that relationship were cooperating. They were understood they were with each other and not there for each other, right? That means that they were like, hey, you know what? As an individual, I know that you're probably attracted to other women. So let's go to this party. You can fuck another woman. And he's like, you know what? As an individual, you're probably attracted to other men. So let's go to the swinger party and you can get your rocks off. So we're both getting our rocks off as individuals. That's cooperation. You understand what I'm saying? See, the problem is that when you're in a relationship, which is objectification, which is you thinking the person is there just for you, you start to look at things only as this person is mine, which makes them an object, which means that they don't actually have any fucking thoughts, desires, nothing. You're just my object of my affection. You're just there for my pleasure. So if I'm sad, you're just here to make me happy. If I'm horny, you're just here to fuck me and make me feel good. If I'm hungry, you're just here to make my food, right? Fuck what you want. Fuck what you think or desire or any things that you got going on. You understand? When I want to feel loved, fuck how you're trying to show me love. Show me love how I want you to show me love, because you're my object. You see what I'm saying? And then what happens is that when the object doesn't show you love how you want it specifically, then you're like, oh, this person doesn't love me. Then we got to get into arguments, and then it's a fucking issue. You see how that, you see, guys, I'm telling you, most people do not know how to have a fucking relationship because they forget that the other person is an individual and not an object. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happens. This is what happens. Right? See, let's see some of these comments that were under this article, and just this it wasn't under this article, but it was under this topic of the woman, the woman wanting to sleep with her ex. Let's see what some of these comments are saying. It said, that is why low body count women is high value, as low as possible. Otherwise, the D's in her past comes back to haunt. Again, look at this comment again. Look at this comment says object all over it. All over it. It said, this is why low body count women is high value, as low as possible. Otherwise, the D's in the past comes back to haunt. See, even with this whole body count, topic, right? That is objectification of the woman, because you're looking at the woman as not another human who desires sex. She's an object of my affection, of my desire to fuck her. Forget that she wants sexual pleasure too. Women are only here for my sexual pleasure. That's what they're thinking. See, when you talk about, well, a woman should have a low body count, but I can fuck all these women, it's because you're an object, woman. You're not supposed to like sex. You're not supposed to be wanting all these dicks. You're not supposed to enjoy yourself in the bedroom. You're supposed to sit your punk ass down at your house, read the fucking Bible, knit me a sweater, and then wait till I'm ready to fuck you, because you are my object. Get it? You see how the objectification causes these types of thought processes? And then when this man gets into a relationship with this woman, he continues to see her or look at her as an object. And then niggas wonder why they have terrible relationships. They wonder why they have terrible relationships, right? Because instead of seeing the other person as the individual just like you, that person goes from individual to my object. You understand? So these body count guys want a woman to conceal them from their own sexual insecurities based on her supposed past. Exactly. Because I'm telling you, these dudes will go out here and fuck a bunch of women. They'll fuck a bunch of women or try to fuck a bunch of women, right? But then at the same time, when they're ready to be in a relationship, oh, well, I want the chick to be damn near virgin. How? Because in order for you to have that thought process, it's impossible for you to see the woman as an individual that you can have a cooperative interaction with, right? She basically needs to be in a fucking lab, in one of those chambers where they have it frozen, and then you push the button when you're ready for the chick to come out and be your wife. That's what these niggas want. They want these women to be born. They want by the time she turns 18, for them to take her, put her in a fucking sleeping chamber, have her there as a virgin, and when he's ready to get his object, he'll just push the button, the fucking shit will open up, and he'll have his nice, beautiful, untouched virgin object that he can have for himself. You understand? He said cryogenics maxing. Exactly. That's what I'm telling you. Niggas want them to be objects. It says, if it was me, I would have kicked her out of my house and left her alone to die. She literally destroyed their marriage in seconds. Instead of leaving him loving memories, she just took a big dump on their relationship. So basically what he's saying is this, listen, don't communicate with me in this relationship. Because look, he said she literally destroyed their marriage in seconds. So destroying a marriage is being honest with your husband or your wife? Is that just, that's destroying your relationship? You can't be honest. You can't say, hey, this is how I feel as an individual. See, that's the problem with, again, people are in these relationships hiding who they are, bullshitting each other, right? They're not really being honest with how they feel. You with your girl, you see a chick with a fatty, you got to pretend you ain't looking. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pretend you ain't looking at the chick. The chick you with got to pretend she ain't never fucked another dick besides you. You understand what I'm saying? Ridiculous. You said about Ms. Locario, she can't pair bond if she has a high body count, which is evident based on the story. All right, check this out. Check this out. Hold on. Let me see where this thing is at. Was it on this one or was it on this one? I think it was on this one. Where he said, look, check this out. Look at the top. He said, hold on, I'm gonna take some calls in a second. He said, we've been together for a decade. We've been together for a decade, right? And what do the people usually say at the weddings? Till death do us part. You understand what I'm saying? He said he wasn't being serious. That's what the guys are gonna say. But that's what they'll say. It's till death do us part. So basically, she's pair bonding like a motherfucker. He said, I think transparency and honesty is the best policy, but most people really don't want the truth. They want a comforting lie that's believable enough to pass for as the truth. That's a fact. That's a fact. Let me see what another one of these comments is saying. Hold on. Let me see what another one of these comments says. It says, to me, that's pretty effed up because out of all the things you could request before passing away, you want your ex-man to screw you, even though your husband is by your side through life and your final moments. I let her die alone for that because she had that in the back of her mind for a long time. Again, how dare my object think she's an individual? How dare she? How dare this whole think she's a human being with thoughts and feelings? And how dare her thoughts and feelings, or how dare she have these feelings when she's with me? How could you actually still want to have sex with another person when you're with me? Because all your feelings of desire and sexual desire for other people should disappear when you're with me, right? Because first of all, you're just my object. How dare you, object of my affection? You understand what I'm saying? Yo, listen. What all I'm saying is people don't know what they don't know. You understand? See, and to be fair, it's not really a lot of people's fault because most people are conditioned and indoctrinated into this fuck shit. You understand? You're conditioned to believe that somebody is yours, meaning that you own the person. You're conditioned to believe this. But the reality is understand this. When you're in a relationship with someone, you're only sharing time. You understand? When you're in a relationship with someone, you are sharing time and experiences. That is it. You don't own these motherfuckers. You don't own these motherfuckers. Like what? Like you're sharing time and space. That's it. That is it. Let me see. I got one more comment. So imagine wanting your last wish is to commit a selfish act that hurts everyone around you. Then after you're gone, your spouse can live the rest of his life knowing that in the end, they were never really wanted. Aw, it's so sad. Let's break this down. It's so sad. Imagine wanting your last wish is to commit a selfish act that hurts everyone around you. Interesting. So your individuality is going to hurt everyone around you. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting you being selfish is going to hurt everyone around you? Right? See, it would be simple if motherfuckers could just drop their ego, because see, you're not hurting people around you. They're feeling hurt because of their ego. You understand? So if your selfishness, right, is hurting everyone around you, right? So then should it be me not being selfish so then everyone around me could feel good, but then I am hurt or I feel like I'm not able to be an individual? Should I just be an object for everyone else? Is that what we're saying? Should we just forget ourselves, forget our individuality and be objects for everyone else to make them feel good? Is that what we should do? You understand what I'm saying? Is that what we should do? Let's continue. He says, then after you are gone, your spouse can live the rest of his life knowing that in the end, they were never really wanted. Wait, hold on. Let me see what this says again. Hold on. This is okay. Because look, it says at the end, she gave a whole monologue about how sex sometimes is just physical and how emotionally fulfilling sex is with me, but it was something to get to the point. So she didn't say she don't want him. She just was like, I like the physical interaction with this guy too. But see, the ego, again, like I said, is telling you she don't want you. You're a loser. Your dick is too small. You're whack. Your girl thinks you're nobody. Right? That's why you're feeling that way. See, your ego is telling you she never wanted you, because in order for you to think she wants you, she can't be an individual. She has to be your object. Remember? See, that's why people want to objectify, because if I objectify, I feel safe. I feel like you can't do anything to make me feel, or I'm going to feel a certain way if you are an individual. Because if you're an individual, I can't own you. And if I can't own you, I can't control you. And if I can't control you, then that means you might do something to make me feel sad. Aw. I need to objectify you, because if I don't objectify you, then that means that I am, admitting you're an individual. And if you're an individual with your own minds and thoughts, that means you're going to have the free will to do what you want. So I have to create a situation to where you feel like you're my object, or I feel like that you're my object. You understand what I'm saying? I have to objectify you so that I can feel safe. You understand? You said it's not objectifying an individual. It is having standards and, yes, requiring loyalty, which is an important value. Okay, check this out. They've been together for a decade. She's been loyal to him for a decade. the bitch is dying, my nigga. You see what I'm saying? She's dying. See, think about this, right? Think about you saying to your girl, I love you. Let's say this guy says to his woman, I love you. But then he feels some type of way because on her dying bed, she wants to be an individual and experience something. So him saying, I love you is a bunch of bullshit. Because in order for him to actually love her and for the statement, I love you to be true, we have to actually think about who are you? What does you mean? Who is this you that I'm supposed to love? So if you are a woman who wants to fuck your ex, right? Then that's who I'm supposed to love, right? Because if I say I love you, who are you? You're the woman who wants to fuck your ex. You understand what I'm saying? So if I have a problem with that, do I really love you? Or do I love the box that I put you in? Or do I love the object of my affection? You understand what I'm saying? Do I love the object or do I love the individual? You see what I'm saying? Who do I really love? If I say to her, if the guy says I love you, who's he talking about? Who's you? Because obviously you is the woman who is dying and says, hey, this is what I as an individual want before I fucking die. You see what I'm saying? But see, your ego is going to play mind games with you and trick you into thinking that this is what your ego's saying to you. The ego's like, bro, come on, fam. You know what I'm saying? Like if she really loved you, my nigga, she wouldn't be thinking about no other niggas, yo. She don't really love you, my nigga. She's not loyal to you, my nigga. She don't love you. Because if she loved you, she would never look at another. She would have no desire for dick ever with anybody. She don't love you, my nigga. She wouldn't even be thinking of. Matter of fact, if she loved you, my nigga, she would have went back in time, right? She would have got into the fucking DeLorean and went back in time and unfucked all the guys she fucked before she met you and made sure she was a virgin until she met you, nigga. If she really loved you, she would go and unfuck all the niggas she fucked ever in life and became a virgin when she got with you, my nigga. That's what your ego gonna tell you. You see what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. He says, so devil's advocate, what if they agree to monogamy? That's what I said. What I said earlier, again, I wanted to take monogamy and non-monogamy out of the situation. But if they agree to monogamy, cool. Do you know that monogamous couples still sometimes have threesomes? Some monogamous couples go to swinger parties. You understand what I'm saying? Because these individuals want to express themselves on an individual level. They still want to be an individual even though they're in the relationship. Just being in a relationship does not take away your individuality. But monogamous player, what's poppin'? What's going on, fam?
What's up, Mr. Lucario? You already know that I donated.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. What's going on?
Hey, man. Hey, Mr. Lucario, just for the record, I just want to let you know, bro. In today's show, you dropping some heavy game. I don't know if it's going over niggas' head, but if you're in a relationship, because even I had to pull my notepad out. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh shit, I done made some mistakes. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Even in the current relationship I'm in now. So it's just everything that you're saying. I just want to say that, man, it's always helpful. And it's very helpful if you actually implement into your life. Like, I just want to let people know that Mr. Lucario is not speaking bullshit. He's speaking real shit because I'm applying that to my life, or I've already applied that to my life, and I can vouch for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm quite sure other men too. But long story short, Mr. Lucario, I just want to say this, Mr. Lucario. I'm glad how you broke it down in the difference of cooperation and a justification, right?
Right.
Looking at the person as an individual that you chose to team up with,
right,
versus you looking at an individual as an object, as a sex object or a money object,
right.
You know, men and women, a money object or a attention object or a, you know what I'm saying, whatever it is, right? Whatever role that you box the person in, that's treating them like an object.
Right.
When you box them in stuff, right? And the one thing I just want to say, Mr. Lucario, because I just want to break down relationships, right? See, a lot of justification relationships are relationships that rushed, right?
Right. That's
rushed relationships that probably didn't have a vetting process, or the guy didn't properly go through the whole process of the vetting process, right? And the reason why I say that is because, Mr. Lucario, when you're getting to know somebody and you accepting them for them, right? You can't not only like the good or unconditionally love the good,
right?
You have to unconditionally love the bad.
That's a fact.
And the pet peeve.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? The pet peeves are just the little small things that you just, and it's not because they're doing something bad, but everybody's different, right?
Right.
Individuality. So, you know, monogamous is not Mr. Lucario. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Lucario is not April MC, even though y'all are together. Y'all still two different people. You see what I'm saying? But when you rush into a relationship, you only plan on the premise of what you like, or what you think you like, or what you think you have in common with this person. You see what I'm saying? But then a lot of people get into these relationships quick, and then all of a sudden, down the line, now all of a sudden, you're noticing the pet peeves, and the pet peeves are drawing y'all apart, when the pet peeves would actually draw y'all closer.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If y'all actually vetted each other. You see what I'm saying? So, and also, Mr. Lucario, I just want to give you one example of a guy that was looking at the girl that he was supposedly dating as an object, right? And, you know, I'm just using this as an example, right? And shout out to him because I respect him for, you know, what he did for music, right? But if y'all saw the Drink Champs, Irv Gotti and Ashanti, I don't know if they really dated, but according to him, they did, right? But because Ashanti decided to go her own way, you know what I'm saying, and dating somebody else, or just doing whatever she did, made whatever decisions she made, he decided to treat her a certain way,
right?
Because she didn't want to be a part of the label no more. Versus saying, you know what, baby, you know what, even though you don't want to be a part of the label, you made us so many millions, you sold so many records. I don't mind letting you go do your thing because you didn't set the label up for us to keep moving forward,
right?
Even beyond you. You see what I'm saying? That's the right way to look at it. But now he was on Drink Champs 20 years, 10 years, 15 years later, still in his feelings because he looked at her as an object. He only see, bro. You always say this, Mr. Lucario. Some people only love you in the box that they put you in.
Exactly.
If you continue, if she was to continue to be the Ashanti that sung for Murder Inc. and she always stayed down with them and stuff like that, I bet he wouldn't have nothing bad to say. But the minute she do something different, just like the woman in this story that you're saying, the minute that she been down holding this nigga down, you don't know if he was on his dying bed and she was there.
Right.
We don't know that. You see what I'm saying? It could have been the other way around a few years ago and been it's just one thing that she want to do that defines her individuality, but then niggas saying that I hope she died. Well, you hope she died. Did you even love her?
Exactly, right.
I hope somebody died if I really loved them.
Right.
Even if they made me mad.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
so
crazy.
A lot of people not really loving, and that's the downfall of relationships. But as you go through the vetting process, right, and as you continue to vet each other and date each other, and after a year or 12 months, 15 months, or 11 months, however long, right?
Right.
By that time, I'm quite sure pet peeves or differences have them popped up. But at that point, you are making the point of, you know what, I accept those differences and I accept those similarities.
Right.
So I accept the person for who they really are. You see what I'm saying? And the best relationships are the relationships where people know that they can leave any day. It could all be done in any day, and they could be both good, but they're choosing to be with one another, right? But the last thing I want to say, and it's me critiquing what I've done in my relationship, right? Now, Mr. Carter, you said this, and I didn't really look at it like that, right? But I'm like, man, you're right. You said sometimes we can feel that people don't love us just because they didn't do this one thing that we wanted them to do.
Right.
But that's us not real, because sometimes you can not realize. It could just be a learned habit. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? But I'm glad that it's dudes like you that, you know, preach the game so niggas can learn, right?
Right.
There's been some times where I wanted my girl to do something, or whatever the case may be, in the time that I wanted her to do it, and possibly vice versa. But her and I didn't do it at that particular time, right? But that didn't mean, like, for example, like, I'm gonna just be honest, Mr. Lucario. A lot of dudes go into relationships, and even in the relationship, right, sex is the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
If sex is the main thing in your relationship, 2 years, 3 years in, then the relationship is not where it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
naturally, you know what I'm saying, the woman, if she's serving you, she's thinking of more than sex.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? She's thinking about serving you in other ways. You see what I'm saying? So it might be some nights where you want to do it, and she might not to say that she don't want to, but she might not be in the mood, but you're not taking into the account where, okay, y'all got a child together. She picked up the child. She cooked for you.
Right.
She worked all day. She washed your clothes. She did
Mhm.
this. She did that. But you mad about this one thing because you ain't get your nut. You see what I'm saying? Which you could easily go go get your nut this one time. Now, it's one thing about if it starts to be consistent,
Right.
that's one thing. But if it's one time or a couple of times, and you just understand, because at the same time, Lucario, it could be vice versa.
Right.
Your chick can want you to do something, and you might just be hella tired, or you might not be in the mood, or you might be going through something.
Mm-hmm.
But that don't mean that you're not serving her in other ways.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So you have to. So when you look at cooperation, you gotta look at the person as fully what they are versus what you want them to do for you in that moment.
Right. And
Because
also,
you can count on that
and
moment,
also too, yeah, and also too, people got to understand that, people show love in different ways. So you got to understand that each person is an individual. So a lot of times, for example, sometimes women will sometimes feel like their man doesn't love them because he may not be as communicative as she is. So she may show love by being communicative, but he may show love by showing up. You understand what I'm saying? And spending time with her. So she's going to think, well, you don't communicate with me. You don't tell me I'm beautiful. You don't tell me you love me all the time. So she's going to think he doesn't love her, but he shows up every time he says he's going to be there. Right. And that's him showing love. So that he can say to her, listen, well, I show up every time when we're supposed to get together. And she's like, well, that don't count because you see what I'm saying? And then so now, because she's seeing him as the object, which means I need you to do it my way, and you got to show me love the way that I'm expecting, then what's going to happen is she's going to miss the fact that he's showing her love because he's not doing it exactly how she wants it to be done. Instead of her understanding that, right?
Other person love.
Right.
I'm sorry to stop you, but I'm just saying that's low key. You're not showing the other person love.
Right, exactly. Because if he says, "Listen, I show love by showing up," she should know that him showing up means that he loves her. You know what I'm saying? But because she doesn't see him as an individual, because in order for her to accept that, she has to see him as an individual. But if she doesn't accept that, then she's going to see him as the object. You see what I'm saying? And what happens is that if he's the object and my object isn't doing what I want, if the thing that I own, my object isn't doing this, then that means there's something wrong. You see what I'm saying? And that's an issue.
Right. And also, Mr. Carr, I'm glad you broke that down because everybody's different, right? So everybody express love differently. Like I'm a type of person, even though I'm active service when I give love, but for me receiving it, I like physical type of love, touching, all that type of shit, right? But my girl, she more so acts of service and gifts and stuff like that, right?
Right.
So for example, like one time, as I say, I could have blown that whole time about the whole sex thing up one time, right? But then that next week or a few days later, right? It's so hot in Houston. If you got bad tires, your tires are gonna pop, right? So one of my tires popped, and I had to go to Firestone, and come to find out, all four of my tires were bad. So I didn't have $900 for 4 tires.
Right.
But guess what? My girl said, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So I could be tripping on this sex shit, but if I'm tripping on that, then I'm stopping the active service of my girl when I'm really in need of something.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So as I say, man, it's all about the perspective, man. You gotta be thankful and you gotta be grateful.
Right. Real talk, man.
Bro.
But yeah,
that's
man.
all I want to say,
Appreciate
Mr.
you, brother.
Man, you dropping some heavy game. I just want to let you know. I see you next week in Vegas.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. That's what's up. All right, 908, and then we're gonna head up out of here because I gotta run. 908, what's popping? You got 5 minutes. Go ahead. What's going on?
Yeah, how you doing?
What up?
How you doing, Lucario? This is Shaq from Jersey.
What's up? Appreciate the donation, brother. Appreciate the donation.
Yeah, my first question is that I'll be doing like the hookup thing. I don't believe in going on dates. But my situation is like within my rotation, like when I want sex or I'm trying to smash, I hit a chick up and then she's like, "Oh, I'm busy," but then like I'm like, "All right, cool. When you free," and then that's what they do. But it's always like kind of like on their terms, like when they free, and not like when I want it. So I was wondering, like, is there a way to fix that situation, or did it start from the beginning? Because I realized some of them will smash me like 2 times or 3 times, and then I hit them up and they're like, "Oh, I'm busy. You know, I'll let you know when I'm free." So is there like a way to kind of like negate that where it doesn't happen and I'm able to get?
Well, the thing is that in order for y'all to smash, she got to be free. You see what I'm saying? So you can't do it unless she's free. So what it is that it has to be a time she's free and you're free. You see what I'm saying? So, because if she called you and said, "Yo, can I come through?" But let's say you had something to do, you're gonna be like, "Nah, I can't do it today. I'm not free, but I could probably do it, this weekend or some shit," right? So y'all both have to be free at the same time. So it's not a thing where it's not that it's on their time. It's always going to be on your time if you choose the day you're free to make it happen, and they happen to be free that day also. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Right. So it would only be on their time if you said, "Hey, let's get together." She's like, "Well, I don't want to get together tomorrow because I just don't feel like it." But you could come see me Saturday. And then you fucking rearrange your schedule to see her. That would be on her time. You see what I'm saying? But if you say, hey, let's see each other Friday, and she's like, "Oh, I can't. I'm actually got to go to work." And then you say, "All right, cool. Let me know when you're free." And then she hits you up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm actually gonna be free Tuesday evening, right?" And then you check your schedule. You say, "Yeah, I'm free Tuesday evening too." Okay, cool. Let's make it Tuesday. That's it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was in regards to, like, I know you were saying, like, even though you hooking up with chicks, they still trying to find them a boyfriend and go on dates and shit like that. So they might not always be, available.
I mean, that could be it too. Yeah. It don't even matter what the reason is. Is either she's free or she ain't. You understand what I'm saying? Either she could do it or she can't. That's it.
Yeah, my second question real quick. Usually when I write like 18 to 20-year-olds, like in their 20s, mid-20s, they usually come through no question. But lately I've been messing with 30 to 50-year-old women, try to pull them back to my spot. And I remember I take care of my mom. And I know you said that I only tell the chicks information that's valuable, but I feel like that's valuable too. But then, like, I don't like the fact that they always ask me, and I ain't trying to like lie. So they always say, "Oh, you live with somebody?" And so should I bring up the fact that I take care of my mother, even though, like, because I feel like the 30-year-old to 50-year-old woman, they're not really trying to see my mom. And like, "Oh, do you live with somebody?" And I'm like, I'm not trying to lie. But they keep on asking me this question over and over again. Like, "Oh yeah, I'll come through, but like, who you live with?" And like all that.
Yeah, just tell them to come through. Be like, "Look, I take care of my mom. She be in the room, and then just come through, and then we go to my my place, and we gonna make it happen." That's it.
Okay, and if they ain't with it, just let them go.
Yeah, and then just let them go. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Or you be like, "Yo, I'll come through to your spot." You know what I'm saying? And we can get it cracking.
Okay, so the age don't got nothing to do with it.
Nah, they got nothing to do with that shit.
35.
Nope. Nope.
All right. Nope. I got you.
All right.
That's it.
All right, brother. Appreciate the call, man. All right. So I got to head up out of here, people. So if you sent a donation and wanted to call in, just get me on the next show tomorrow. I should be doing another show tomorrow and shit. But yeah, man, but I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure you guys go to badboymembership.com. Make sure you guys go to masculineidentitymembership.com. And I will holler at y'all later. All right. And remember, guys, the truth is inside you. I'm out of here. Peace. I'm gone.
Trends, why you so nice with it? The gear's tight, looking right, you got the ice with it. A conversation with me will change your life. Your wife wants the pipe, and when I hit, you feel a slight difference. In her box, my cock's bigger, I'm hot nigga. She don't rock with you, she got with you for dough. Your hoes a thought, if you fuck around, I'll take your mom, kiss her, fuck her, then I'm taking your hot sister. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. You shit that chick up in my world. You cuff that bitch, I'ma fuck that bitch. You in love that chick, well suck that dick. That slut will kick you out your house, man, fuck your couch. I'm Rick James, bitch, I'll take your bitch and fuck her mouth, nigga. You bitchin' cause I'm smashing your hoe, you so passionate though. You would laugh for her to go on the trip, now you trippin' because I got her ass, you acting vaginal, bro. I'll give her back, blow her back out, then go. Nigga, act like you know. Sharing is caring, nigga, I dare a nigga to swear that niggas can get to his chick. I put fear in niggas, they scared this nigga will take the girl and make her my bitch. You the type to die for a slut. You lie just to fuck, you like to get drunk and high just to get the courage to say hi, you a punk. You want to get some ass, but then you act like a monk. She's stringing you along, it's going on like a month. You spending all this dough, she still ain't touching your junk. She taking off her pennies and you smelling the funk. You say you hate it, but you ate it even though that it stunk. Nasty ass nigga. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. Your girl, not a side girl. You shit that chick up in my world. I'ma keep fucking your lady. My pull-out game's amazing, we ain't having a baby. You bitchin' moaning and crying, complaining, acting crazy because I'm fucking your girl, you punk ass, you pay me. Get cash to smash your whack ass chick. You too stupid to realize I'm teaching your whack ass shit. All up in your feelings, you feeling all attached and it's making you go crazy. And maybe if you had that shit we call game, you know you can't control no hoe. No matter if she's bad or right or just so-so. You trying to control that bitch, that's a no-no. You worried about other niggas, that's so homo. Pause. Niggas wanna be so romantic, but they chick be all up on another man's dick. I be on that man shit, they be acting manic. I don't think these guys know what a man is. Y'all thinking you're out here winning with your money and status, you're thinking you're rich. But how you see yourself as a winner if I could ruin